Aloha. Now I have audio. I was just saying that if I'm here and you're here, isn't it our time? That would be the Fast Times at Ridgemont High reference because it's Cameron Crowe's birthday, who wrote Fast Time at Ridgemont High. Rolling Stones journalist, did a couple other things too, if you know about it. I was saying I have half an Oreo cookie. It's a mint one. I'm kind of an Oreo purist, but it is a cookie, and I'm not going to say no to a cookie. Kind of a cookie guy. So, aloha, Don. How are you? Greetings and salutations, Todd. Uh-oh, Todd says number one. Wait, Todd says number one, Don says number one. I don't know how that works. You both can't be number one, but you apparently are tonight. Oh, it's top chat. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can make it to all chat. This is why, because it says top chat, live chat. There you go. Todd number two, Don number one. All right. I was confused. Hey, there's this. And the Death Star. And I have the Death Star, really close up Death Star. Look. See, you can see an evil beetle right there. Look at that. The evil beetle. Hold on. It turns a little head toward it. Oh, that's his hair's turning, not him. Oh, that's his hair. Can't turn his head. There we go. Okay. Oh. I think that's Ringo. Ringo, the evil beetle. There you go. Oops. And Chewie's under arrest. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's I don't know if I can keep it. I keep bumping into it. I've now crashed into it every time I've walked past it because I have no room here. It just is what it is. Anyway, as I was saying, this guy right there, episode 7, I confirmed it. It will be Chicago episode this Thursday, 8 p.m. Heinz Verified, day tripping with me as the co-star, along with Stephen He, the star. Mr. Hand, exactly. Thank you for remembering that. Mr. Hand, that is it. I had pictures I was downloading. They didn't show up, so I'm not sure. I'll check back and see if it got here, but I don't know what the heck happened. I sent the email because that's how I do it. I send an email to myself, and it shows up, but apparently this didn't work, and I don't know why. This is not great. So I don't have the pictures I was downloading. It stinks. Anyway, let's see. Today is Barbershop Music Day. Now, we know that barbershop music is what they're supposed to be thinking about when it comes to barbershop music is like quartets, a cappella, all that stuff. Me, when I think of barbershop music, I think of heavy metal because my barber plays heavy metal at their shop. So when I get my hair cut, there's always some sort of heavy metal rock and roll going on there. And also my haircut guy, barber, is Wes, and he's a heavy metal guy. So that is the heavy metal barbershop music appreciation day for me of heavy metal. There you go. Maybe we'll play a little, I don't know, think of something. It's Beans and Franks Day, not Frank and Beans, Beans and Franks. We talked about that yesterday because it's the most, it was the first convenience food canned, I guess. So it's ubiquitous with canned food. Not to be confused with National Hot Dog Day, which is Wednesday on the 16th. It's, you know, they've got all these subsets of holidays for these things. It's Delaware Day. The state was the first. Now I did look, there are 12 other Delawares that are not the state, but there's a Delaware in ready. Arkansas, Indy, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Missouri, New Jersey, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and Virginia all have Delawares. So there it is. We know Ohio has one because it's close. But 12 cities have Delaware, and Delaware doesn't have a Delaware because that would be dumb to have a Delaware city in Delaware. Anyway, tomorrow is Mac and Cheese Day, and we just had Macaroni Day the other day. I don't remember the exact day, but there was a day. But tomorrow's Macaroni and Cheese Day. It's also Tape Measure Day, National Tape Measure Day, which I was like, well, that's kind of weird, but I guess it's because it was patented in 1868 by Alvin Fellows. I had to see who the heck created this. Alvin Fellows patented this in 1868. It's Grand Marnier Day, that orangey liqueur, Grand Marnier. He's under arrest now. Wait till they freeze him in carbonite. Yes, right? Fair enough. And tomorrow is National Nude Day. Celebrate how you want. Apparently, Ben Franklin used to take air baths hanging out by his window. Good old Ben Franklin. Who knew he was a nudist? He was everything else, right? That's why he's on the dollar bill, I guess. Or the $100 bill. $100 bill. Yeah. Holla for Ben Franklin. But it's not Nude Bike Ride Day. I did check. That was earlier. 'Cause I've seen Nude Bike Ride Day, but Nude Day, I did not know there was a nude day. So maybe I'll do my show nude tomorrow. Maybe not. Let's see. Born on this day was Julius Caesar. Now, the reason that I brought that up because it seems odd. He was born on this day, July 13th, 100 BC, but he died in 44 BC. See, because the numbers went backwards because it was BC. I guess that would be, you'd have to figure out, are you getting younger? Are you getting older? The numbers are going down. It seems a little strange, but that's how that worked. Let's see. In 1898, the ferry building opened at the foot of Market Street in San Francisco at the Embarcadero. I was just there. It's still there. It's a little beat up and worse for the wear, but the Embarcadero is still there and the ferry building is still there. I don't think they use it as much. If I remember, it looked like it was kind of abandoned. Some of those, especially the one in Market Street. I don't remember, but, and okay. So 1936 in Mio, Michigan, 112 degrees. In Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, 114 degrees on this date in 1936. So heat waves. Remember it was 1936 from the other day on East Coast. So apparently we got a lot of heat in 36. A lot of heat. 1951, 2 million acres flooded in Kansas and Missouri from the Kansas and Missouri rivers. Apparently, we had a lot of rain and it flooded. So, see, floods are natural and normal. I don't think it was space lasers. That's just me. Just saying. 1960, John F. Kennedy was nominated. He got the Democratic nomination for president. 1977, New York City blackout. The blackout of 77. New York City was out for 25 hours. I actually remember that. I was young, but I remember that was a big thing. Because again, you're talking a city of 8 million people, and it was complete. The whole city was out. Many, many babies were born 9 months later. I forget there was a statistic about how many babies were born 9 months later, but lots of people got busy in the dark. But yes, blackout in New York City for 25 hours. I don't think we've had that since, because that's not great. You don't want to be in a city that size because elevators get stuck, traffic lights don't work, refrigeration doesn't work, AC doesn't work. Yeah, that's a thing. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday or the day before about the thin veil of society. I've always said that the thin veil of society is one that if the power would go out, if the electricity goes off, societal norms as we put them and see them would not last very long. It's not going to be like months before the world collapses. It's going to be hours, a couple days, and that's about it. People are going to lose their minds if they can't get information, they can't get whatever, because electricity is what we need. So blackout of 77, New York City. Yes, indeed. And in 2008, I was like, okay, InBev, that European company, bought Anheuser-Busch for $52 billion. Right. InBev. I think they own everything now. I think they also own Miller Coors and everything else. So yeah, that's a big conglomerate company. It is in fact Wally Byright Liquors. We are watching the things where it's just going to be a couple really, really large corporations who own everything. Speaking of corporations, red dye, we were talking about the other day, one of the ways to make it is with beets. And I guess a bunch of corporations all capitulated and said, yes, we will go and not use red dye anymore. We'll use natural things, whatever, except for M&M Mars. And they told them to, no. Just no, we're not. Because they're Skittles and M&Ms, because they basically said the colors aren't vibrant, they fade too quickly. No, we're not going to not use red dye. Okay, there you go. Mars, M&M Mars has pretty much said, we don't care. We're going to use the dyes, artificial dyes. Be damned. And apparently beets make red, but then things taste like beets. So I don't know if you would want borscht flavored M&Ms. So maybe that's why. Or, borscht flavored Skittles. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking that's a negatory, good buddy. We'll see. I'll go with the bugs. I'm okay. I'll eat the little cactus bugs. That they could be worse. All right. So many birthdays today. I just kept it down to a giant list. Erno Rubik's. It's his birthday today. Guess who he invented? It's the Rubik's Cube. So it was actually named after him. I didn't realize that. I just thought it was something. But yeah, I guess it would be. It's Rubik. That's the guy's name, Erno Rubik. He's from Budapest, Hungary, I believe. And he was born on this day, and he created the Rubik's Cube. Who knew? Now, also, Leslie Groves. It's his birthday today. You don't know who that is, but you do because you probably saw Oppenheimer. And remember, Matt Damon played him in Oppenheimer. Leslie Groves. Real person. He designed and did the Manhattan Project. He also built the Pentagon. So that was Leslie Groves. Interesting. Nancy Sinatra. She was born on this day. She's passed, but she was 101 years old when she went. Her boots were made for walk-in, apparently. Richard Simmons. Now, we talked about Richard Simmons yesterday because I had to go back and check. I'm like, wait a second. Did I screw this up? No, actually, I didn't. He was born yesterday and he died today. Many years in between, but yes, he died the day after his birthday. Well, they say birthdays are stressful. Apparently, this one was stressful. So, yeah, because I had to look. I was like, wait a second. I talked to Richard Simmons yesterday, sweating with the oldies, and he, kicked today. Just saying. Birthday today, Bob Crane. Now, Bob Crane was Hogan in Hogan's Heroes. But if you want to find out an interesting story about Bob Crane, go Google Bob Crane and go look up him. Apparently, he was into some kinky stuff. He was like filming porn of himself and other people, and he died a nefarious death by misadventure. So Bob Crane, Hogan, exactly. He was I think that the line of "I see nothing" did not pertain to him very much. He seemed to see a lot. Bob Crane. Now, this I found to be funny and interesting. So today is Patrick Stewart's birthday, right? But in 2305, way in the future, is Jean-Luc Picard's birthday. I don't know if they did that intentionally. They must have. But yes, so Patrick Stewart, who played Jean-Luc Picard on Star Trek, his birthday coincides with the actor and the fictional character. So they both have the same birthday, just hundreds of years apart. Who knew? I find that to be amusing. I just do. Let's see. Oh, and speaking of Carbonite, because it's Harrison Ford's birthday. Who doesn't love a good Carbonite joke? Thanks so much, Todd. Cheech's birthday of Cheech and Chong. That was one of the pictures I was going to show, but I don't know why it didn't download for some reason. Because I have a picture of me and Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong were really nice guys. They came to the radio station quite some time ago, years back, when we were at the old 503 South Front Street location. Good old Cheech and Chong. Fun movies. Which one of the movies had Pee Wee Herman in it? Would you like a hamburger, Mr. Lizard Man? He said. He was the bellhop and clerk at a hotel. And I think that was in the one Nice Dreams. And Stacy Keach played a detective who turned into the Lizard Man. And that's who he was referring to. Anyway, Ken Jeong, his birthday today. John from The Bachelor, or from the Bachelor Party. And then obviously from that stupid show that I don't watch, so I'm not going to even know the name of it. The Mask Stinger, that's it, where people wear masks. Jim Rogers McGuinn of the Birds. To all the seasons, turn, turn, turn. Birthday for him today. Cameron Crowe, as I said before, Fast Time at Ridgemont High. Mr. Hand. My kid's got an awesome set of tools. And Leon Bridges. It's his birthday today. Leon Bridges, he's been at the station a bunch of times. That was one of those ones that people are like, why are you playing Leon Bridges? Like, because we do. He fits perfectly. He's an alternative artist. He's not in the mainstream. No one knows who he is. He's no mainstream radio station's going to play this guy. He was great. Super cool. Super nice guy. Love Leon Bridges. Death this day, not a ton. So that's good, right? Red Buttons. He was in the original Poseidon Adventure. He was also a comedian, the Red Buttons show. I remember Red Buttons from seeing him in the Poseidon Adventure, and I don't know if I remember his show so much. I think it was before my time, and I didn't really, it was maybe a little bit older. But Red Buttons, Corey Monteith, that was the other dude that died from Glee. He was like 31. He OD'd on heroin. Because remember that girl died just recently, or one of her deaths was there. So yeah, the Glee people didn't do so well after the show. She drowned. He OD'd on heroin. Not good, going downhill. And Shannon Doherty died. 90210. Shannon Doherty. That today was the anniversary of her death. So that was another one there. Yeah, just lots of birthdays. There was a lot I didn't even include because they were secondary birthdays. There's just so many. I found these lists that are just like these endless scrolling lists of people. And I'm like, good Lord. I was like, we're producing a lot of humans. And I'm sure it doesn't include everybody, just who they find. Same with the list of, National Day, because this is like they create their own. You can sometimes find, National Day has no information related to how and when it started. Okay. But like, I don't know. You tell me if it's Grand Marnier Day, where'd that start from? InBev? Because they own it? I don't know. Possibly. And then there's a ton of, I'm amazed at how many days I see nuclear test. 1962, 1984. I'm just like, damn, we blew up a lot of atom bombs. Apparently, a lot. It seems like every other day I'm just like, atom bomb, atom bomb, atom bomb, atom bomb. I'm like, okay, man, we did a lot of atom bomb testing. And again, the thing was, how recently, I didn't look at when the last one was done, but it was, currently, where I could have actually gone and seen it, which kind of freaks me out. Like, okay, so people were like hanging out in Vegas going, hey, let's go watch a nuclear bomb blow off. Yay? That's kind of whatever, man. I guess that's what we did. We were blowing up the nukes. So was Russia. Thanks for atomic testing. I guess, you have to keep going. We blow up one and that's not enough. We're just going to make sure. Yeah, we're just going to keep checking. Just make sure that they still work. Just letting people know. We still got them. Got another one. Oh, we're still blowing things up. I guess I don't understand that. Testing. We had to keep testing. Keep showing people that we can blow things up. Who knew? But that apparently was a thing. Because we blew up a lot of them, it seems. There was many, many tests. So I find that to be interesting, that there's a lot of those. And then there's a lot of war stuff. Like, man, we were warmongers. I mean, holy crap. Because this is within like not too far past. There's a ton of, the European, the 1933 and everything. So, this is when Germany was fighting, like, this is the third day of the Blitzkrieg. And I'm like, crap, man. Like, so, yeah, Germany was nuking Britain and there was wars all over the place. It was some warring going on. I mean, I know there still is, but I guess just not on the scale that we used to, apparently. Maybe it's just that we don't need conventional. It doesn't need to have as many people. We have bigger bombs, so it does less, more. I don't know. It just seems like if you go back and you look at some of these things, there's so many, and this and this and this and this death and this, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just not going there. I find it to be a little bit overwhelming, and there's enough crazy stuff that happens daily now. Why would I need to figure that out? I did cheat. I did look ahead at some of the things coming up, and I did find that there is a National AI Day, and it's coming. It's here. It's next week. Also next week, the 18th, July 18th, is the anniversary of Andy Davis passing. Andy used to work at the radio station, the Andy Man. So that's, I'll have some pictures of me and Andy because we had some good adventures together. And he was a good cat. And he had big hands. So you'll see Andy was a big guy. I just remember he would hold a pitcher of beer and it would look like he was holding a big glass because he had some big old bear paws of a hand. Yeah, right. Got to keep with the Jonskas. We were warmongers? All right, fair enough. There's still warmonger going on. We're still mongering. I'm just saying. It just, there's a lot. There's just so much. I mean, it's just nuts. I guess looking at like every day of things that happened in the past, it's like, crap, man, it's just, yeah, it's a little bit much. It's a little bit much because it's every single, like, okay, and this happened and this many people died in this and this. And yeah, so apparently we're good at it. We just keep on going. Yep, got to keep with the Jonskas. Fair enough. Oh, that email didn't come through. I'm bummed. I tried to have a technical mistake-free day, and I failed miserably. Right off the bat, the microphone wasn't plugged in or turned on, so I had that. And I don't have my email, so I don't have multiple photos to show you. All I have is the one. So yeah, I'm already failing. I don't think I've had a 100% day yet in 43 days. I don't think I've had a single 100% no mistake day, which I'll strive for because that's, what I really am trying to do is no mistakes. Possibly not. I don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow I'll get my schedule for the week when it comes to Jazz and Rib Festival. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've got to figure out what my broadcast schedule may be. So I may have to, and I'm going to have to look at that, I may have to pre-record them. Oh, damn it. And I didn't even see it. Talking about mistakes, what happens? I don't look at the clock and it fades to black around me. Yep, that's what happened. And I was looking at it too. I was staring right at it going, wait, is that... And no, it still failed. What can I say? Again, no mistakes, not happening. So I'll get my schedule for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know what it looks like yet. Thursday may be okay. I may get done early enough to get back for it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday... Oh, excuse me. I'm really tired. It was a long day, long week. I have no idea. So I'm going to try and get that from the powers that be at the Jazz and Rib Fest peoples and work on that. Because I would like to make sure I don't miss 3 days or 4 days. But it's going to have to be something, like I said, maybe pre-recorded, or I'm going to have to do the research earlier or something. I don't know. Because the days are pretty busy. It's not like I get to sit around and do nothing. I have to make sure that all the 40 people that I'm in charge of are working at the 6 adult beverage stations, beer, wine, liquid, whatever, soda, water, and make sure that they're working, as well as I have to make sure that they're fed. That's the other thing. I'm in charge of feeding them. So I have to basically get all the orders. I have to fill up a golf cart and take them 2 meals a day. So I have to go to this predetermined cook area where there's a caterer that makes food just for staff, pick up the whatever 60 box lunches, and then drive them to the individual people. Because if they have special food needs, I have to deal with that too. I mean, come on. What am I, a restaurateur here? Apparently I am. I'm a waiter. I'm a waiter on a golf cart. That's what I get to do. But I do get to get the golf cart and drive around. So that's not horrible. It would be a lot of walking. So I'm thinking what I can bring with the golf cart. Actually, I'll bring the GoPro because I can take the golf cart for GoPro, and I'll try and do some editing with that. But I'm not sure what else. I usually bring like a little charger. I've got like a flashy, like a baton for parking. I got that once from a parking guy who wasn't paying attention. That's all I'll say. He wasn't paying attention at that moment in time. And now it's mine. Sorry. It happens. It does. It occasionally does. And I complain about people walking off with stuff that I leave laying around. Karma. Right? What comes around goes around. That's how that works. Yeah. I can feel this thing behind me. It's so close. Like I'm literally now leaning and touching it. Like it's on my shoulder. I'm not sure what that is. When we know there's something behind us, is it because like what is that sense of feeling? Is it because the sound changes and it's sort of like, the echolocation of a dolphin or a bat? You know something's there. I know there's a wall right behind me. So I know this thing's right here because I can almost sense its presence. Not that I'm even seeing it, but I kind of know it's here because it just feels like the air is different. There's no air moving, or maybe the sound gets absorbed by it or something. Don would know that. He would Google that and it would tell me that it's the, Mandelian effect or something where it's, you're feeling something, you can sense it's there. Right, Don? It's got to be something like that. The Mandalorian effect. I don't know. Some sort of felt presence. See, I knew it was something. I felt presence. And like felt as in like, felt? No. But felt presence. All right. Yes, because I sense that it's right there. Even though I know it's there, I also feel like it's right behind me. Even though I've run into it like 8 times now. Because there's a little stool right there on I can't know if you can't see that. Yeah, you can. That red thing is a stool. See? So I'll sit there sometimes and I read for a minute, and every time I get up from it, I smash right into it. Even though I know I'm almost looking at it, but I stand up into it. I'm not sure why. I will be using a tape measure for National Tape Measure Day tomorrow. I get to work indoors all day. Painting. I'm going to do a lot of painting tomorrow. Not nude, though. I will not be doing nude painting for National Nude Day. But I will be using a tape measure. But I'm doing a lot of painting tomorrow. I've got to paint, trim, windows, doors, all the trim work around it. I had to put a bunch of windows back together today, which is not my favorite, I've discovered. Was not a huge fan. Really dirty. The old houses that have those window weights, I had to replace the ropes in the windows, and because they break, and then the windows don't open and close easily. They're heavy, but the window weights drop down and they slide them up or slide them down, and that's how they work. But I had to change the ropes on all of these windows. When I did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 windows, so 20 different ropes, 20 different weights. Just very dirty. I found that those weights have numbers on them, and that's how many pounds they are. Because some are different weights. I found 6 pounds, 7 pounds, 8 pounds, and 4 pounds. 4 pounds were smaller windows. Made sense. And then I realized that the bigger windows, the top windows had less weight. The bottom windows had more. The top windows had 6 pound weights. The bottom window had 8 pound weights. I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. I'm sure it's scientific for some reason that they put a different size weights in there. You know, the windows are about the same size. But I guess if you're pulling the window down, you don't need as much weight because it's going to want to go back up. But if you're lifting the window up, obviously you want it to go up at a very constant. You don't want it to go up by itself or come down by itself. So you just, I guess, find that homeostasis where it's like floating, levitating. You can bring it to whatever height and stop it. You know, they use springs and things nowadays, but back then, counterweights on a little pulley with a piece of rope. I'm using nylon rope. I'm using 1/2-inch nylon rope. And I am tying it the exact same knot that they had, which is like this weird double helix knot where you kind of go through, up, down, around, then up, through, down, around, and it makes this double knot, kind of snags it and it tightens it more, which seemed fine to me, so I just keep using the same knot. That's me. What I watched last night? I watched Brothers. I think it was Brothers. Yeah, I think it was Brothers. It was all right. I would say you could watch it. It was kind of funny. You know, it wasn't horrible. I forget who was in it. Oh, the one guy who was in Game of Thrones, the dwarf, small person, diminished height person. You have unagi. Unagi? That's a sushi. I think unagi is a type of sushi. That's like unagi. Yeah, look, I'd say unagi is a sushi, man. I think that's a sushi. I'm almost sure that is. That might be. Yeah. Unagi. That's a sushi. That might be sea urchin, which is terrible. It's the only food I think I've ever eaten because people are like, "Ew, I don't like the texture." I was like, "What? That's so weird." I'll eat, caviar, the little beads of salty delicious, and I've never had texture. Unagi, or is that uni? Unagi's eel, yeah. Uni is sea urchin. UNI. That I had a texture issue. It was just. I was like, okay, I understand texture issue because it just I didn't like it in my mouth at all. It did not give me a good mouth feel. Was not into it. But yes, unagi is eel. The experience can be linked to various factors, including subtle sensory cues, psychological anxiety or paranoia, or even neurological mechanisms. Unagi is a Friends sitcom reference. Okay, interesting. Felt presence. This experience can be linked to various factors, including subtle sensory cues. Okay, so a subtle sensory cue. That would be interesting. Psychological factors like anxiety or paranoia. Well, I don't think I'm anxietous or paranoid about the Death Star, unless, the TIE fighter up here is going to fly into it and, blow it up behind me. That little port, the Womp Rat, that I don't want to get blown up, but I don't think it's that part. And a neurological mechanism. I don't know, transmitting. Don't know about that. It's probably just that I can sense it from subtle sensory cues. Subtle sensory cues. That would be it. Unagi is a Friends sitcom reference. Interesting. I didn't watch Friends. I never really got into it, so I don't know that one. Just like I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I don't think I ever watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. Just didn't go there. There's certain shows I just miss. Whether it's timing or just wasn't the thing. So no, I did not find that. I still have my half Oreo cookie. The green Oreo. Like I said, I'm an Oreo purist at heart, but again, it's a cookie, so I'm not going to say no. And there's no ice cream except vanilla, and I didn't really feel like having vanilla ice cream. But maybe I'll put a cookie in my vanilla ice cream, or I can use vanilla ice cream in my coffee tomorrow morning. That's what I'll do. I'll take a scoop of vanilla and I'll make an affogato. Yes. And I was thinking about affogato because a person I went and had an affogato with in a place in Arlington that actually makes them, who knew, Pete texted me earlier today. So I was like, oh, Pete, thinking about that. So that's a beautiful thing. Unagi is a Friends sitcom. All right, you got to explain, Todd. What is the Friends sitcom reference that unagi is referred to? Because it's eel. Um, you have unagi equals eel. Um, that's great, but I don't know the reference. So you lost me. I'm lost on that one. Don't know it. I'll try, but don't know it. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like this week. Didn't look yet. Don't really care. If it rains, it rains. If it doesn't rain, it doesn't rain. What else? That's about it. It was a long week. I worked all 7 days of it. And then 7 days before that, and I've got to work 7 days this week. I am looking forward to Jazz and Rib Fest. That should be fun. It's a nice adventure. Lots of good people watching, really good people watching. Anytime you get big festivals like that, it's good people watching. Thursday's just set up, so it's kind of mellow. Fridays, it starts early, but it's mellow again because it's a work day. But it gears up Friday night pretty good. It definitely gets cranking. But Saturday is the day. It is jamming Saturday night. I remember last year the Wi-Fi went down. There was so many people using Wi-Fi that all the cash registers were unable to be used because the Wi-Fi was down. They're like, we use them offline. They didn't work offline. I was like, hardwire them. It's like you're losing a lot of cash, a lot of sales. I think they're trying something different this year. I'll be interested to see. They hired a beverage manager because I kind of was doing that, and each one of the booths was in charge of its own self. But now I guess there's a dedicated person, Karen. Very nice. I like Karen. Who's going to be the beverage manager. So she's going to manage all the product and restocking and all the things at all the booths, and I'll be in charge of all the people. We'll see how that goes. It should be all right. I mean, I don't think it'll add or remove any of my workload. I don't know, but I don't remember, because the booths they were all kind of self-sufficient. They kind of did their own thing and kept everything stocked. If we needed cups or something, I would go for a cup run, but it wasn't like it was a hardship. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know what the entertainment setup is or anything. I do have T-shirts I have to give the staff people that I got from the manager, so I have to sort those. I will not be wearing one. They're like light blue. They say staff in like pink or something, and I'm like, no, I'm going to wear my Randsanity shirt. Hello. Duh. Right? And maybe I'll even make a badge. I got a badge one year. Maybe I'll make a badge. I do have a laminating machine, so maybe I can make a fun little badge. Okay. Unagi's a friend second. It was something from Ross Geller on Friends. He claimed he had unagi, which was like ESP, if you never watched the show. Yeah, I didn't. So, okay, that helps. Unagi, which is like ESP. Okay, I guess that is, since felt presence is unagi. Okay, which is eel. So I have eel. I have eel. Who knew? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We shall see. That just seems eel. All right, I guess. Unagi. Yes, uni, I think, or ibi. Ah, damn. Now I'm confused. I know. Let's see. Harami. Taimaki, unagi, EB. I think it's EB. Maybe it's EB. So now you have to look for me because I don't want to sit there and start this on the computer. But I think it's EB, EBI. Or no, that's shrimp. It's got to be uni. I think it's uni. UNI is I think, yeah. So yeah, that's got. I think it's uni. Is sea urchin. And yes, bad mouthfeel. First time ever, and I've never had experienced it since. I tried it one time, I was like, no, I'm not going to do this again. It's just, I don't know. It's not great. It just isn't, not my thing. Just not my thing. I just, a very dramatic role at that, be like, it is not my thing. No. That's where it's at. That's what's going on. So, Barbershop Music Day today, Beans and Frank Day today, Delaware State Day, tomorrow Mac and Cheese Day, National Tape Measure Day, which I will participate in that one. Um, it is Grand Marnier Day and National Nude Day. So, I mean, we're all nude underneath our clothes, right? Nude when we take a shower. So I'll be nude briefly tomorrow. I'll celebrate my National Nude Day briefly. I don't think I'll have the opportunity to be nude otherwise. And I don't think doing the show nude, anyone wants to see my visage in all its nudeness. There was a band called Nude. Brian Lucy was in the band called Nude. They were a good band. Maybe it's that band's day. I don't know. Maybe I didn't read it properly. Who knows? Just saying. Oh, this one, remember? Like and subscribe to this. I haven't even looked at this. I have to go look, and I've had no time because when I get done with this, like I said, I wind up hitting the couch, and then it's just, I wake up on the couch. I did last night at 3 a.m. 3 o'clock in the morning is when I woke up on the couch. And it was like, I need to go to bed. And then, I get up 4 hours later. So I don't really have a great sleep cycle because that's not great. And then, of course, then I'm sleeping face down. So I wake up and I wonder why I feel like I went, 3 rounds with Mike Tyson and my back's like, I'm all stiff and I feel like I'm hungover. And it's just because of sleeping. I had to find that perfect sleep position on your back, perfect angle. Never happens. Never happens. I'll have a dog in my face otherwise. That's just how that works. I have a dog that sleeps with me, so, right. I think that's probably a normal thing. Lots of people, their dogs just sleep with them because they want to be snuggly and climb on you and climb next to you and, sleep by your head, which isn't conducive, again, to restful sleep sometimes because, again, it's a dog. And, they don't just sleep. They nuzzle and snuffle around and move and everything else. So what are you going to do? Except for complain about it to your friends. And that's what I'm doing. I'm complaining about it to my friends. Sorry. All right. I feel that I've spoken of all the things because I could not find my pictures. So you're missing out on the picture of me flipping off. I found 2 more pictures of me flipping people off, which I showed one last night. My googly eye picture I couldn't find because Don's fish reminded me of the googly eyes, so that's not there. My picture of Cheech and Chong is not there, and I don't know where it is because there's no email. And upstairs, my other computer says sent with 7 attachments, and I have no attachments. I have no email, so I'm not sure what the heck happened here. So that's disappointing. Disappointing is the word I'll use. But at that note, that'll let me let you all go do your lives and live your existence on a Sunday night, which tomorrow is Monday, and it casts a pale on the week ahead. Back to the work and all the stuff that comes with a Monday, where I can, again, start forgetting what day of the week it is because I don't know. Unless I come in here and I look and it says, oh, wait, it's that day. Right. Because otherwise I don't know, honestly. Sorry. How it goes. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to bid everyone a farewell and an adieu. And hopefully everyone enjoys mac and cheese tomorrow. Maybe you get to enjoy a tape measure, some Grand Marnier, and nude. Happy Nude Day. National Nude Day. Besides that, we'll wish Julius Caesar happy birthday. Happy birthday, Julius Caesar. Because his birthday went backwards. Which, again, just because. I will try and find more interesting things to talk about tomorrow, and hopefully I can get my pictures to download, and that way I can have dovetail off into ancillary stories that actually make sense because there's photographic evidence along with it, and not just taking my word for it. Because why would I lie? Anyway, thank you so much. appreciate you for being here, for all your commentary, for your likes and your stuff. And have a good night, my friend. See ya. See ya. I bid thee farewell, farewell, farewell. Parting is such sweet sorrow. I bid you go farewell until tomorrow. Thank you. Fade to black. Cookie.